Hey again everybody, it's Paul again. I figured while I'm here, I might as well do the glute max and piriformis stretches in their entirety. And you know, I'll just put it up on the Facebook page and it'll come up whenever, it can stay up there and you can go to it whenever you want. There was another series of small questions about what they can use. I was talking about using a strap. I've had these straps made because they're wider and softer than anything else I had used. I don't know if you have them here, but just like a half-inch piece of braided rope is enough, and it's super cheap. It's like $8. It depends on when you buy it, but you know, braided rope from Home Depot or wherever can be fairly inexpensive. I make these because they're comfortable, really. I was gifted this by somebody who Reebok makes this, and I thought it was really a cool idea because it has these handles in it so that you're not really obliged to grip. For people that have a reduced grip, or clients that have reduced grip, it was actually gifted to me by a client who thought it was brilliant, and I think it's great. The only problem with this is that it's so narrow that it kind of bites into the foot. So anyway, whatever you can use. In fact, I have for the longest time used a bathrobe tie, but you know, now it's starting to break. It's just whatever is there. A towel. If I'm in a hotel, I'll use a big towel or even a small hand towel. It's really like, you know, there's no excuse to not stretch, and if you really need something to help you, grab whatever you can. The only problem that I have, or problem, it's something that I tell people, especially when they say, well, I've got these really thick, no, you don't understand, it's a really thick, heavy elastic, and this is what they're talking about. And whatever we're stretching, if we're stretching, you know, gastrocs or hamstrings, or even using it to come across, it's solid, but the problem is, and I'll demonstrate it with the gastrocs, even if you double it up here, when we're actively contracting the tibialis anterior to send a message to the gastrocs to release, you're going to get a lot of stretch out of this, but really a lot of the time you're really just stretching the elastic band and you're sort of taking away from the potential of the stretch. If you have it and this is all you have and you really need something to help you stretch, by all means use it, and if it works, that's great. All we want it to do is work for us. So that's that on the assisted strap thing. But let me go back to, it would be better if I go back to this position here. Can you guys still see me? Oh, hello. My little iPad, the words are so teeny tiny, I can't see who it is. Hello. Oh, Darlene, hi Darlene. So, blah, 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 where was I? Oh yeah, stretching the glutes and the piriformis. You know, ideally we really want to get into the piriformis because where it resides off of the sacrum is it comes down about 15-20 degrees downhill from the anterior aspect of the sacrum down towards the head of the femur, and the best way to really get that attack that angle of the piriformis is to get the leg across midline, but uphill 15 degrees. So we're really getting into the angle of the piriformis, and then because it's a rotator, we need to rotate. But for us to get to that position, it's best to sort of gain access again, like we did with the shoulder girdle to the cervical spine, gain access through the glutes. And so I wanted to be a bit more comprehensive than I was a few minutes ago on the last video. I tend to start like this. You know, I have a belt on my massage table, but not everybody has a belt, and not everybody has a massage table, and I often end up on the floor before I'm doing my kettlebell workouts. And so the best way to stabilize on the floor is to get this unexercised leg cross the midline, or at least to midline, and actively rotate inwardly, or internal rotation. And I find myself being a little bit more stable on the floor, and I can get into those activities now with my active or exercised leg. 1, 2, and 1, 2. I'll do 4 or 5 on one side, 4 or 5 on the other. Same idea. And once I've done that, I'll start opening up the angles by adding an external rotation of the thigh. I can still come straight across midline with that external rotation of the thigh, but I'm going to start adding some amplitude in opposite directions. So I'm just changing my angle of attack now. Instead of coming across at 0 degrees, I'll come up at 15 degrees and open up those angles in the glutes. And now, well, I'll do this side too, but now I'll come back to this side. Now I want to maintain, as I come across, this rotation tends to unwind the more amplitude I get across with the thigh, and I want to try and maintain that. So yeah, I can use my pant leg, which is fine, but it's a bit awkward, so I'll throw this strap in there. I can either put it on my foot and wrap around the outside to help maintain that external rotation, and there is one way to do it. I'm not sure if the video is actually picking that up. Yeah, it looks like it. And I'll keep reaching across and then assisting here, 1, 2, and keep in mind that my assisted pressure is still as light as it was with my cervical spine, or anywhere else in the body for that matter. And now that I know that I can get my thigh across midline, or at least to midline, safely and comfortably, I'm going to stay there, and now I'm starting to approach the piriformis with a rotation, 1, 2. So if I think about it in this way, there's 2 aspects to the piriformis. One is proximal on the sacrum, which we've kind of approached with this action here by not allowing that rotation to unwind. So this is proximal piriformis. And now that I can get there and stay there, I'm going to add that rotation. You might not get much rotation, but if you're actively creating that rotation, we'll now start to approach the distal or trochanteric attachment of the piriformis. So those were the 2 stretches that I wanted to kind of throw out there. So first one is opening up the glutes, glutes, glutes. Glutes, change the angles, get different fibers, same stretch. But then now that your left thigh can come across, add that rotation. And if you can, use your hands to assist. If you can't, use your strap to assist, or your towel, or whatever you can get to help yourself go through the stretches. Keep in mind again that you can use anything to assist, but if it's elastic, you're going to lose some of the stretch to the elastic, and you won't get as much stretch there. So. Tomorrow will be another set of stretches for as long as this COVID-19 self-isolation and social distancing goes on. I will continue to offer what I can to help you help yourself. Take care, everybody. Be safe.